Hello again, Skyblock. Mooglemuffins here, and this is a little follow-up to the video I did yesterday about the 1x2 hidden piston door controlled by the button. When I posted this on the forums yesterday, Smith asked me about how we would wire it up if we wanted to use two buttons. So having one up above the door and then also one on the other side of where we were going to the one down in the hidden room below. And so I took a look into it, and I have a little solution here for you if you want to do a two-button wiring. So first, let's look at the circuit itself, just so we can see how that works. Let me turn the day back on. There we go. Okay, so this is basically the circuit we'll be using. Now this is laid out nicely, just so you can see how it's all set up. So right now, let's say that this button on this side is up above, so in the library, in this example here, and this button is down below in our hidden room. So right now, that glowstone block is on a piston over there, and that's up, so that would be, the door would be closed right now. And so I come into the library, want to go down to my secret room, push this button, there it goes, turns off, going down, now I'm in the secret room, and I want to shut the door behind me, and there we go. And so I do whatever I do down here. I want to go back out and go back to the rest of the stuff on my island. Opens the door, and there it closes. So to do this with the buttons, of course, first we'll need each button to go through a T flip-flop circuit that we did the other day, and to make sure that the output is working like a lever, and so you can use the button in that way. And so you'll need two of these, so that'll be the 4 normal pistons, 6 redstone torches, and then for the redstone itself on it, you need 1, 2 is the 2 redstone on the top. And so you just need to build 2 of those near each of these, each of the button inputs that you'll be using. And they're both going to feed into this type of gate over here. So this is called an XOR gate. And basically what this means is that if you notice, if one of these is on or one of these is on, then this output will be on. And if both of these are on, or if both of these are off, it will be closed. So like right now we see this one is on and this one is off. If I turn this one on, they're both on and that's off in the output. So it's this or this, and that dictates what the output's going to be. And so for this gate, you're going to need 7 redstone torches, and then also 7 redstone dust, and then of course whatever you'll need for hooking it up to everything else, depending on how far away you're putting the circuitry. And so let me go ahead and do a build of this gate here, just so you can see how it all went up. So you start out, and you do 3 blocks in a row, and this is where your input is going to be coming in. So if you have a button or the lever, so you have the input that comes into there, and the input that comes into there, and so let's say that's a lever, and that's also a lever. And so they'll come into here, and you'll stick a torch on the top of this block here, and a torch on top of there, one on the insides, and you're going to stick one more block in the middle, and then a torch on the end of that one. And then be sure to stick these 2 redstone on the top. So right now, with both these levers off, you should see 4 redstone on, and the one in the middle off. Okay, now for the next part, we put a redstone in front of this torch, and a redstone in front of this torch, and then 2 blocks in front of those, redstone on top of each of them, and then a torch in front, and a torch, there we go, and a torch in front, and then that in the middle. So this is where our output's coming out. So right now both of our switches are off, so the output is off. Turn one of them on, now the output's on. Turn the other one on, now they're both on, the output is off, and so forth. So that's all you really need for the XOR gate. Pretty simple, pretty useful too if you ever need anything that you want to control from 2 places. This is a really useful gate for wiring those things up if you want to have separate control panels on your redstone builds. So over here I've built up a little model of the library, and I decided to build this out of the ground just so you could see how all the redstone was set up without having to run around in some tunnels. And so this works just the same as the library we did the other day. Looks like the door is open right now. Let me go ahead and close it. So there we have it closed. Open the door, down the ladder. Here we are in our secret room. Push this button, closes the door behind me, and then opens it back up when I want to leave. So that's that. And so for this one, I found this setup is probably about as compact as you can get without getting too crazy. So this is, I mean, there might be some other way to set this up that could be even more compact than what I've got here, but this is a pretty simple layout if you don't want to have to worry about getting really technical with how the redstone's laid down. So for this button out here on the upside, this is laid out the same as we did the other day. So the redstone stepping down and then into the switch and then coming out the other side. And then for the one down in the basement, I just stuck the button on the wall right there and stuck the T flip-flop right on the other side. And so those both came around. And you have to make sure that when the redstone comes in on this side that it's coming in straight. So having it come across like this, that wouldn't work for some reason. It's set up that way. And so you need to make sure that you curve around and make sure it's coming in straight to both of these blocks. And be sure to keep one block away all around this edge just to make sure you don't interfere with anything with the gate itself. And so if you build the gate here in the middle like this, then you have just enough space for it to come out the output and then spiral up and around a little bit, a little spiral staircase, and then wire it into the bottom piston and wire it into the top piston, and that should be good. And so in terms of hiding this on a skyblock island, if you had a big flat island where you just filled out your whole 100 by 100 space, if you just built this on there, I mean, you could hide this under your island and they wouldn't be able to see it. On my island, mine's kind of floating down. I can actually I can show you that now since the server's on. Let me go to my island and show you how I built mine. Let's see here. This is my island. Okay, so here we are on my island. Let me turn on my fly. Okay, so here we are on my island, and so my library that I built it down below one of my lower levels. So yeah, the library is this big wooden roofed building with the glowstone blocks. And so as you can see, there's the circuit. I just have the one button circuit. I didn't do the double button that I just showed you here today. And so that's just set up right here behind, and I have like a little wall set up, so for the normal people that are on my island that can't fly, they would just come down here, see that nice little scenery, wouldn't be able to see the wall. And so we go in the library here that I've built, and see here's the, oops, here's some lag. Let's see, here we are, so we go in the library that we got here, here's the button. There we go. That took a little longer than I expected. So this just goes directly out to the switch that's on the wall, and then I have this going down into a little potions lab down below here with a netherwort farm and then all the potions and everything. So this worked pretty well for me. Since I had this floating in the air and couldn't really hide this under anything, I set up my switch a little different. Let me show you what I did there. Oops. So yeah, instead of going down like I did in the tutorial I showed the other day, mine is slapped right on the wall. So the button just comes out right into the T flip-flop switch and then comes back around. So that way it's flush with everything and you only really have just a little bit sticking out. And so if you don't want to hide it under, this is also another option if you just want to make it flush with the wall and maybe put something around it like I'm planning on tearing this down and extending this wall all around here. So it's all just kind of hidden, you just can't see it. So that's how I used it in here. So it is possible, it all works. It works pretty well. I like it. I mean, I like having secret rooms. It's always kind of fun to have it. Even though there's not really anything important down there, it's just kind of cool to have a sneaky potions lab. And so there you have it. I don't know if I'm going to change mine around to the 2 button that I showed you today, but you know, if you want to do the 2 button, be sure to shut the door behind you, and that should work for you. So have fun with that, and you should be able to get that going.